Bordeaux beat Toulouse. What a game of rugby. This is why these two teams are classified as the two best club teams in world rugby. That felt like a quarterfinal of a World Cup. Just the atmosphere, the crowd getting behind both teams, the travelling crowd. This is why the top 14, in my opinion, probably is the best domestic club competition in the world. But obviously the Champions Cup is by far right now the best club competition on earth. All the best teams in Europe and South Africa playing it out to see who is the best. I just wish we could be able to see some of these teams play against some of the Super Rugby teams as well. It would be so awesome, because as a fan of Super Rugby, as a fan of Top 14, as a fan of the URC, as a fan of the Champions Cup, that would be absolutely awesome to see. But Bordeaux get the victory. Now, for a long time now, Toulouse have been the best club team in the world. Can we now say that Bordeaux is probably the best club team in the world? If they go back to back in this competition now for 2 years in a row, will they now be the current best club team in the world? I think they will. Obviously, the top 14 will still dictate who is the best club team in France. But Bordeaux, both teams at their strongest right now. Bordeaux were definitely the better team on the day. It probably would have been a different result if they did play in Toulouse. But this Bordeaux team is just so special, running the ball around from everywhere. Just think about that earlier on in the game when they got the penalty on their own 5-meter line. Mathieu Jalibert taking the quick tap and go. And if that ball went to Damien Penaud's hand, that could have honestly been a game-changing moment early on in the game. I mean, they looked like they could have scored from that. This Bordeaux team just plays with so much character, so much confidence, and I just love watching them play. But I will also say, if you are an England fan, I completely understand why you want this rule of only players that play in England being selected to be absolutely eradicated, because Willis today was absolutely phenomenal. He was one of the best players on the field, if not the best player on the field. He would honestly right now probably walk into the England starting lineup. What a phenomenal rugby player. And to be honest, I don't know why a lot of countries do this rule of you have to play within England, because if you get guys that are playing overseas that have established themselves as really good players, then you can get younger guys coming through the system as well in your own domestic competition, which really does help. I mean, South Africa's done it. I think the Wallabies used to do it, not anymore. Scotland does it. A lot of their players play overseas and it really helps them. So I don't understand why people are against their players playing in different countries. I mean, it works for Italy now as well. A lot of their players play overseas. So I just don't understand it right now, but hopefully England can sort that out. But Toulouse did play a very good game as well. They played as good as they could. I mean, playing away from home at Bordeaux in that incredibly hostile atmosphere. It was just such a fun game to watch, such an intriguing game of rugby to watch as well. The way these guys play rugby, they keep the ball alive at all costs, and the intensity was by far the game with the most intensity this weekend, by far. I mean, the intensity in this game felt like a World Cup game. It felt like a World Cup playoff game, and I will keep saying that because it really, for me, like normally when I watch club rugby games, I feel like, oh, okay, this is a good game. But this game for me felt extra special. It felt extra intense. It felt like the players wanted it more, and you could just see that out on the field. The question now is, can Bordeaux keep this level of intensity and that kind of grit and wanting it that bad? Can they keep it up against Bath next week? That's also going to be a very tough game, or whenever they play. I don't think it's next week. I think it's in a few weeks' time. But can they keep that up? It's going to be very difficult for them mentally to be like, okay, we've probably played our toughest game now against Toulouse, the other best team in this competition. Now we're playing against Bath. We probably can beat them easily, but they actually can't. This Bath team right now is a really good team right now. They're a very tough team to beat, and I think if any team, whether it's Toulouse that won this game or Bordeaux who did win this game, take that Bath game lightly, then they could honestly be in for a bit of a shock upset. I mean, we saw Toulon yesterday beating Glasgow Warriors, looking like a very good team, and we know in these playoff games, you have one mistake, one off day, your whole tournament will be over. So it's going to be very interesting, that next game for them. I do think Bordeaux right now are firmly the favourites to win this competition. But let's just see who played well today. Some of the individual top performers, top points in the game. Maxime Lucu, the last try scorer of the game, Arthur Etier. 16 carries for Antoine Dupont. I will say they really kind of managed Antoine Dupont well today, Bordeaux on defense. They didn't let him get a sniff of space. He was still very dangerous when he got the opportunities, but 16 carries for scrum off is a lot. They did really well that when Antoine Dupont did get the ball in space, he didn't really have that many options to play at all. So Bordeaux did really well there. 17 tackles completed, the most tackles completed by Maxime Lucu. What a game by Maxime Lucu. I mean, he's probably firmly now secured a spot as the number 2 scrum off in the France team. If you have been watching watching this channel for a while, especially if you are a France fan, you know Baptiste Rennes is my favorite France player. But I think right now he probably would be good as the third option for France. I think if France do send a weaker team to New Zealand, if Bordeaux and Toulouse somehow meet in the top 14 final again, then I think probably Baptiste Rennes will be the perfect guy to give a start for that game. So maybe that's what we might see. But looking at some of the other performances, Celeste Riassi with 2 line breaks, one of my favorite players in this Bordeaux team, and a guy I saw on the bench that I wish was starting for Bordeaux, Madosh Tamwe. He was at Montpellier, but he came back to Bordeaux, and he's looking so much happier now. He's such a good player. I remember he played for the Lions, he played for the Sharks. One of my favorite rugby players of all time, Madosh Tamwe, in the Bordeaux team. I really hope we can see more game time from him. He's been playing quite a lot in the top 14, but he hasn't really been playing in the Champions Cup right now. I'd love to see him maybe make his way up into the Bordeaux starting lineup, because I know all the fans love him there, and I love him as a player as well. Jefferson Puero, I hope I said that right. I know he's a very good player. 3 turnovers, 1. He was an absolute menace on the ground today. He was really good at getting over the ball, and he honestly probably did make an international case today. He played some really good rugby. Mathis Lebel with 5 defenders beaten, and he was all over the show as well today. He was a really good player to watch today, and that's the kind of thing that I really did notice in this game, is that it doesn't matter who the players were, even if they are the France best players, or they were good players in the past, like Teddy Thomas, or they players that aren't really that well known to players outside of the France kind of system and outside of the France kind of crowds. They put up some really big performances today. I mean, Carlos Sardi at scrum time is solid. He did kind of find himself wanting on the wing a few times today, but that Bordeaux forward pack, Cameron Walkie today, put in a really big shift. Willis from Toulouse, front row cross, doing his normal nitty-gritty hard work. And to be honest, the kind of win in this game and all the points that got scored was just an accumulation of not making mistakes, because there was a long period in this game where they were just trying everything they can. Both sides were just throwing absolutely everything they could at each other, throwing the absolute kitchen sink at each other. It honestly looked like that. They were just going at it as much as they could, keeping the ball alive, throwing the ball around. It's as if at one stage in the game, both teams didn't even know what the score was. They were just playing rugby to play rugby, and it was absolutely fun to watch. But at the end of the day, Bordeaux made less mistakes than Toulouse. They were able to keep the ball alive longer, and I think when Bordeaux got into those situations where they could score tries, where they maybe were a bit more dangerous, they just were more clinical. They scored points when it was on offer. They scored better tries today. Toulouse still had a really good game. You can't honestly say that Toulouse had a bad game, because this game was in the balance until the last 10 minutes of the game. A very stupid mistake from Dorian Aldegheri today. That was a very silly mistake. I mean, that was about as in, you could see the intent on that, to hit Damien Penaud in the face. That was just silly. I don't know what he was thinking with that. That could honestly cost him an international call-up later, because that was honestly, I saw that, and I'm not even a Toulouse fan, and if I was a Toulouse fan and I saw what he did there, I would have honestly probably just fell to the floor and had my hands on my head, because that was one of the silliest things I've ever seen on a rugby field, especially in a game like this that was so unnecessary. And you could just see how he propelled himself into Damien Penaud. Obviously, I know he's not a player like that. He's a very good player. I've always rated him. Obviously, maybe he is now at the back end of his career, but it was just unfortunate to see that happen in the game. Luckily, you could see Damien Penaud's response was really good, really humble from him. I really enjoyed seeing his response. Nothing bad about it. He knows it's his teammate for the international team. Keyword, know how it is his teammate, because I honestly do believe that Damien Penaud could be in the 13 jersey for France going forward. I know France has some really good centres right now. Nicolas Deportes is still out with an injury. Yoram Mofana is playing really well at 12. You've still got Emilien Gaiton and Fabien Braubory as well. You've got some really good players. Gael Ficou can still come into the squad if you need a bigger squad as well. But I just think right now, Damien Penaud at 13 looks really good. He's playing alongside Mathieu Jalibert. He's playing alongside Yoram Mofana. He knows those guys. He's playing on the inside of Louis Bilberry as well. So they know each other really inside and out on the field. They know exactly what they're going to do. So if you can get more game time there, I honestly see that working out for him as a position at international level. Now, hopefully him and obviously Fabien Galtier can sort out whatever they've got going on, because Damien Penaud is a phenomenal player. So I'd really like to see him maybe get a shot in the 13 jersey. Maybe not in the starting lineup, but maybe play him in the number 23 jersey off the bench, because I just think the France team can really benefit from Damien Penaud going forward. Yes, they were very dominant in the Six Nations, but it's going to be a completely different story when you get to a World Cup semi-final or a World Cup quarter-final and you're playing against the All Blacks, the Wallabies, or the Springboks. It's just going to be a different story, especially in the Southern Hemisphere. So they can honestly use as many good players as they can. But I mean, going back to this game, star players all over the field. Antoine Dupont versus Maxime Luku. Willis versus Cameron Walkie. Cameron Walkie played phenomenal today, and Willis. I mean, in the front row, you got Darian Aldegheri versus Carlu Sardi. Piato Mavaka playing some really good rugby. I mean, it was such a good game of rugby to watch, and I feel like this could have been a final. It felt like a final. But overall, Bordeaux were the better team on the day. They played the game at home. They're a very tough team to beat at home. And to be honest, Bordeaux definitely is the favorite right now. It's going to be very interesting to see if Bordeaux and Toulouse do meet again in the top 14 in the playoffs. I'm definitely going to be keeping an eye out for that one, because that could be an absolutely awesome game. But guys, if you do enjoy the content, please don't forget to like and subscribe to help the channel grow. I appreciate all the support. I'll be covering all the rest of the Champions Cup games, the Challenge Cup games, the URC games as well, the playoffs for the top 14, and of course the international games coming up. It's going to be absolutely awesome. If you are a France fan, stay tuned, because there'll be a lot more France videos coming out as well based on the international team. So if you do enjoy the content, stick around, hit subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.